Hey there, if you haven't already, be sure to check out my review of Dragon Ball Super Episode 66. I'm not even going to joke around here, you probably should check out the episode, or at least my review, because if you don't, then you're going to be wondering just what the hell is going on in this episode. Just a heads up, don't say I didn't warn you. The previous episode of Dragon Ball Super left a mixed feeling towards a lot of fans, and it also left a mixed taste in my mouth. Now, what I mean by that is, it was like a glass, half lemonade and half piss. It was really hard to distinguish the two from each other. Now, I'm not saying the previous episode was horrible, but it just felt like they pulled a lot of things out of their ass. A lot of writing, a lot of not so good writing. But the episode did have a lot of great moments, and this episode follows up on one, even though it did feel a little bit rushed. That moment is seeing Trunks slice Zamasu in half with his magically made key sword. Which, by the way, when did Trunks learn how to make a key sword? I don't even know. They don't explain things. That's what I mean by awful writing. You know, some people have been calling Trunks a Gary Stew, which is a male version of a Mary Stew in, media. And I completely agree, because this guy could probably save 1,000 people from, like, a volcano eruption, or he could probably cure world hunger, He could do all these things, and wouldn't have any real reasoning as to how he was able to do them. He could just do them. So Trunks slices Zamasu in half. Zamasu starts laughing his ass off, like, literally he's laughing maniacally. And then he just screams as his body, his physical body, dissolves. And all these people around him start to celebrate, like Goku, Vegeta, Supreme Kai, Gowasu, Bulma, Future Mai, just to name a few. When all of a sudden, a spiritual, I guess you could say, form of Zamasu begins to take over the earth. And then Gowasu explains that it seems that Zamasu is trying to become justice itself, like he's trying to control the entire universe. And at first you'd think, like, oh shit, that sounds scary. But then when you see how he does it, it looks hokey as hell. It's just his face, splattered with this goofy smile everywhere. Literally everywhere. And by the time he consumes Earth with his, like, spiritual essence, more of these ridiculous faces just get sent out throughout the galaxy. And it's like, come on, this just looks so hokey. Why, you couldn't have done it any other way? This just looks so bad, if you ask me. The idea is okay, but the execution, not so much. So Goku and Vegeta and Trunks all try to attack this thing. Goku fires a Kamehameha, Vegeta fires the Final Flash, and then Trunks fires the Gallic Gun. And this blast combines into one, which looked pretty cool, I won't lie, but it was ineffective, and Zamasu ends up firing these beams and literally wipes out humanity. Gowasu and Supreme Kai end up going back to their time, but Zamasu ends up wiping out all the survivors with the exception of Future Mai and Bulma, who were able to survive somehow. This causes Future Mai, to break down, pull out her shotgun, and start shooting at the air, all dramatically. Then eventually, it just leads to everybody like, damn it. Great, we thought we had him beat, but now we don't. But that's when Goku remembers that he has the button that the Omni King, or Zeno, however you want to pronounce it, gave him in his pocket. He pulls the button out from his pocket and wonders if Zeno in this timeline is still alive. And he presses it to find out that he is. And also, I should have, why'd I say this earlier? Gowasu and Supreme Kai never left when the blast went off. They were the reason that Future Mai and Bulma survived. They blocked off the blast, I believe. That's how it happened. But in a few, they get ready to leave. See, I got confused there for a second. The Omni King shows up, and Goku right off the bat just goes to hug him, and he hugs him, and, Gowasu and Supreme Kai, they're freaking out, like, oh my god, he put his hands on the Omni King, what is this idiot doing? And the Omni King just kind of goes, who are you? And then eventually Goku's like, yeah, hi, I'm Goku, and we kind of need your help. That's when Zeno looks at Zamasu and pretty much says, he's annoying. Zeno says a world like this shouldn't exist because it's full of such evil activity. I mean, he literally wiped out everything to the point where the only thing we see are, the main characters and a gust of smoke and the ground, like the hard, broken down ground. That's all we literally see because of how much damage this guy did. Then Zeno decides that he's going to destroy this entire world. And then that's when they all decide to retreat. Gowasu and Supreme Kai head back in time with the time rings. Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, Bulma, and Future Mai all head back in time with the time machine. They head back, they all leave, and then we get to see Zamasu basically get wiped out by the Omni King. And not just Zamasu, but that planet Earth in that timeline. So, yeah, in the end, they didn't win after all, because they weren't able to protect that Earth. Bummer. So when they go back to their timeline, they're basically upset with everything, because hey, they couldn't really save their Earth. But this also leads to Goku going back into that timeline to get that Xeno. And a couple episodes ago, Goku mentioned the Xeno, how he was going to bring him a friend. Well, it turns out he just brought Xeno. So we got two different Xenos being like buddy-buddy with each other. It's actually really adorable. I can't lie. Xeno, he's a little adorable character. He really is. But man, he packs one heavy punch. That's the beauty of Dragon Ball. Don't judge a book by its cover. So the remainder of this episode is mainly Trunks saying goodbye to everyone. But Whis has a plan that will have Trunks and Mai go back to a version of their own timeline. Now when I say version, I don't mean exact copy. There's going to be alterations to it, of course. He plans on creating another timeline, and Beerus doesn't like that idea. However, Whis points out that his opinion at this point really doesn't matter, because once he killed that timeline, Zamasu, the one that they're currently in, it created another time ring, which means a new timeline was created where Zamasu never died. And Beerus is just kind of like, okay, well, well played. Beerus, meet your maker. The plan that Whis has is that he's going to travel back to that timeline to when Beerus was still alive and tell him about Zamasu and how he needs to kill him. With that coming into play, that would mean that, nobody dies, Goku Black never shows up, his world would be safe. The only downside is that there would be another version of Trunks and Future Mai there. Now, at first, Whis is like, okay, is this okay with you guys? And it takes him a second, but Future Mai basically steps up and says yes, because, hey, you're going to be around people that you love and care about. And that's how Trunks feels too. He ends up agreeing with Mai as well. So Beerus ends up deciding that he'll leave Trunks off the hook this time, instead of actually stepping in and doing something about it. And he actually gives Trunks his best regards. So that was pretty cool of Beerus to do. You don't usually see him act that way, so that was pretty cool. So the very next day, Trunks and Mai are about to leave in their time machine back to a version of their timeline. Goku ends up telling Trunks that he'll probably be a match for almost anybody that tries to step in and, invade that planet Earth of that timeline. So this is Goku giving Trunks his certified stamp of, hey, yeah, you're good enough, pal. Everybody cracks a few jokes here and there, and right before they're about to leave, Vegeta is standing right there in front of Trunks, and he flies right towards Trunks and tries to punch him, but Trunks is able to catch the punch, and they basically share a nice little smile exchange. Good old Trunks-Vegeta father-son connection. Really cool, really cool. Kind of reminds me of the Cell Saga when he left and they did their little peace sign, basically saying farewell to each other. Pretty cool stuff. I like seeing stuff like that. And just when I thought I wouldn't see anything better, as they're leaving in the time machine and it's going up in the air, Trunks catches a glimpse of Gohan and Piccolo flying up in the air. And Gohan's sweating and, heavy breathing. So I guess the implication is that he was training with Piccolo? I don't know. He could have just, been in a rush and he's out of stamina since he's a family man. I have no idea. But he's just, panting and basically puts his hand up like he's saying goodbye, waving. But then Trunks gets a flashback, and he sees future Gohan, and how future Gohan was basically the protector of the world at that point when he was younger. And Trunks starts breaking down and crying, and he basically says that he failed Gohan because he wasn't able to protect the world. And that's, I'm not gonna lie, that really broke my heart. That made me really sad. I almost teared up a bit. It was pretty emotional stuff. I won't lie, because he kind of did fail. He didn't protect the world. He didn't protect his own world. They had to have the Omni King come in and literally blow that thing up. It's really sad, honestly. I mean, yeah, you could argue that he's going back to his home, but it's a different version of his home. It's not the same one he's used to. So in a way, he failed to protect the world that he's been a part of for so long now. That's some pretty heavy stuff. Very hard to deal with. But Trunks begins to cheer up as soon as he hears Gohan tell him to take care. And it's a pretty cool moment because, he gets it looks like he now looks at this Gohan as his future Gohan. I'm not sure if that's the implication here. But it's a very touching moment, I will say. And Trunks basically leaves and says, till we meet again. And that's the end of this episode and also the end of the Future Trunks arc. I gotta say, this episode was okay, although I do believe that the beginning part with Zamasu taking over the universe was a bit hokey. But to each his own, right? So there's probably people out there that liked it. That's fine. I like the stuff with the Omni King. He's pretty adorable, like I said earlier on in this review. Trunks getting the final kill is well-deserved, even though, actually, you know what? He didn't get the final kill. He killed the physical body, but the spiritual body? Nope, that was the Omni King. And I had a feeling they were going to do that. I really did, because why else would the Omni King give Goku a button? Unless, you know, he was just going to shove it up his ass or something. I don't know, Goku's an idiot. They've made him out to be even more of an idiot in this series than he usually is, which is saying something. But yeah, overall, this was a okay episode. The best part, of course, of this episode was Trunks saying his farewells, and I really, really, really thoroughly enjoyed that Gohan moment. As you can tell, I do really like Gohan. I think he's a great character, but I'm not going to hold my breath like most people and say, oh, he's coming back, he's doing something, oh my god, he's training with Piccolo. No, I'm not saying that at all. Because I know this series, I know Toriyama, I know Toei. They're not going to give Gohan a chance. And if they do, they're probably going to have him squander it. But who knows, they could be building up to something for all I know. I'm just saying I'm not going to hold my breath. It was really great to see Trunks again, and I will give my final thoughts on this arc later on in another video. This will be my final episode review of Dragon Ball Super. Thank you so much to everyone who sat through all of these and listened to them. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. You can look forward to more Dragon Ball videos on the horizon, because I've got a couple planned, and I hope you're looking forward to them as much as I am. And as Trunks said earlier on in the episode, until we meet again.